Hey everyone! In this video I will talk about some products I bought when we were traveling in Japan. We didn't do huge amounts of shopping and not every single product is just for us. Some of those are also for friends and family. But I thought you might be interested in finding something that interests you in your next trip there. Let's start with these bath bombs, where you have a small toy inside, and at the back of the packaging you can also see what toys you can find in the packaging. These were actually quite fun. As you can see in the video, the surprise at the end was really cute. They were, however, very small. In comparison to a €2 coin, these are really tiny. These are chopsticks, basically, like a kid's trainer chopsticks. So your kids can learn to use chopsticks, and they were really great. The other two packages, as you can see, are small pigs in different shapes. When you are hosting like a kids party or just for also your own kids for breakfast or for some snack time, you can use those to make the small snacks a lot more fun, and this make also fun gifts to others as well. What I found quite a lot and also bought quite a lot, to be honest, were patches, all possible different patches. Because I found it that they are very easy to use. These are basically iron-on patches. You can repair kids' clothes from stains or holes very easily by just sticking one or two on top of them. So this was a kind of an easy way to personalize clothes, but also maybe mend them a bit or upgrade them a little bit once you need a quick solution. I bought as well scissors, especially the kids ones. These are actually quite sharp, but they are really good. And then I found this one. This is a paper soap. You could buy some of this in different shops. I think this one specifically is from Daiso. But the point is that you can have a small pack in your bag. So once you are somewhere where you do not have a soap, you can just use one sheet. And this I found quite useful. These were called Zero Chocolate, and you can just basically find them in any convenience store or konbini, like 7-Eleven. These were actually really nice because they didn't melt as quickly, so especially on hot days, they were very easy to carry around in a bag. Then we accidentally found these paper lanterns in a smaller shop, and these are actually really lovely because, as you can see, they look really cute. And if you are hosting a birthday party or you just need some very fun decoration for your children's rooms, these are actually great. And they're very easy to transport because they are very thin in terms of packaging, so they do not really take up much space. Another thing we found very funny and really cute were these erasers. We bought them as gifts for family and friends. I think you can also even find them at the airport, and the price difference was almost non-existent. So in case you didn't manage to find any in any of the shops, you can still get them at the airport. We decided to visit the stationery shop, Itoya, and I found these paper sculptures, which I absolutely loved. They had different ones. We got animal ones. As you can see on the back of the packaging, these are basically paper sheets you just cut and assemble in a certain way. Generally speaking, Japan had quite a lot when it came to assembling things. There were quite a lot of puzzles, origami, Nanoblocks, basically just a tiny version of Lego, which are also quite fun, but obviously choking hazard if your kids are small. There is a shop in the Sky Tree. Again, Japan has quite a lot in terms of do it yourself, make your own stuff. So if you are interested in some sewing projects or buying fabric, or if your kids are interested in those, you can get quite a lot of nice fabrics. And many of those shops also have hobby sections where you can buy all possible parts to make your own plush toys or small dolls for yourself, your children, or also just gifts for other kids, depending on the age. You can also get ready-made action figures. Bear in mind that many of those are also collectible items, so they might not be cheap. If you love stationery, Japan is pretty much the heaven of stationery. So you can buy a lot for your children, starting from custom stamps to some pens and pencils and everything. But also quite a lot of shops, they have their own merch with their mascots, so you can get a lot of like keychains, small toys and everything else revolving around really cute animals or cute mascots in general. If your kids are Pokemon fans, then this is also the place to be. The Sunshine City, the shopping mall, has merch shop, but also quite a lot of themed cafes. They also have shops where you can get some comic books, you can get collectible cards. For different games, you can get children's books and pretty much everything that you might think is possible, and even more than that. In my experience, Japan can be a lot when it comes to finding products for children. And you also find quite a lot in general in different shops. So for example, if you go to Daiso, the dollar store of Japan, you can find already quite a lot that is pretty cheap. But also feel free to browse around in other shops, because sometimes you can find really nice gifts or ideas or, activities for kids that you didn't consider could be fun. This is definitely not the limit in terms of what you can buy in Japan, and it really, really depends on your interests in general. So feel free to browse around, but also be aware that you might actually overshop. If you would like to avoid that, maybe set a strict budget to make sure you do not go overboard when it comes to shopping in Japan, because it's actually very easy. I hope this was interesting for you. I will be doing more videos on traveling and product hauls, revolving around traveling with children, but not only. So feel free to stay tuned and see you in the next one.